boys and girls. So yesterday we learned about the letter A and a few different things that start with the sound that A makes, which is A. And one of those things is an apple. And so what you're going to need for this project that we're going to do today in literacy is you are going to need some crayons. And when we do our headbands, I want you to make sure that you color whatever it is that we're coloring, a color that it would be in real life. So for my apple, I've chosen a red crayon, and then for the stem, I'm going to color it brown, and then for the leaf, I'm going to color it green. So, actually, I think I'm gonna go get my real red crayon. That one is violet red. And so it turned it a little bit pink. There's really no such thing as a pink apple, is there? But if you look right here, it says red. Do you see how it says red? So what you're going to do is color your apple. You could color, what other colors do you think that we could color our apples that we might see it in real life? Is there such a thing as a purple apple? No. Is there such a thing as a blue apple? No. So I do think that I know there's red apples. I also have eaten a green apple before and a yellow apple. So any of those colors would be good. So what we're going to do is once we color all of these different parts of our picture, then we're going to cut it out. And to cut it out, we're going to use scissors. And so what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about scissors and how the most important thing when we use scissors is that you need to be safe with them. So you never want to cut something with the pointy part of the scissors toward you. So you want to always make sure that the scissors are pointing away as you're cutting. So I'm trying to be fast and still stay inside the lines, but there we go. That's pretty good. And then here, I'm going to scoop this over just a little bit. Here's my leaf. It's going to be green. And then my stem is going to be brown. Sorry if it wiggles my table or the thing that's holding the phone as I film this. Okay. So now I want to teach you some more things about using scissors. So you always want to make sure that your thumb goes in the hole that's the circle. So put your thumb in there and it always goes up. Okay, so your thumb should be up as you cut, and then your pointer finger and your second finger should go in this other hole. And then you can open it by spreading your fingers apart. Does that make sense? And then remember, we talked about safety, so you want to always have them pointing away from you. And the way that I want you to start cutting is that we open our scissors big and then we close slow. And then you want to get just by that line, open big. You push your scissors forward, and then the way that you are able to move around the line is you just turn the paper with your hand that you're holding on to it with, okay? Open big, push them forward, close slow. Open big, close slow. And then do you see how I just turn my hand? Open big, close slow. And then when I get to this part, I just make sure that the paper goes underneath, and then I turn the paper, go around it. Now, the first few times that you practice cutting, if you haven't cut very much yet, you might end up cutting into your, whatever it is that you've colored, don't be hard on yourself because we're just learning. So it's okay. We can either glue it back together or we can solve the problem another way. So there's never anything that we can't fix. We could always get you a new apple. All right, so here is my leaf that I'm cutting out. Open big, close slow, right on that line. Do you see that? I'll set it there on my apple while I cut out my stem because I want my stem to be underneath my leaf. Do you see how I'm turning the paper with my hand? I just keep my scissor, and my elbow is down by my side. I don't lift my elbow up. And the circle and my thumb are on top. Okay, now I'm going to take my glue stick, which is another one of the supplies that you're going to need, and I'm going to turn my stem over. And then I'm going to just put a little bit on the end of my stem and then turn it over and stick it on my apple. And then I'm going to take my leaf. Oops, that's kind of a bit much, but that's okay. I'm going to take my leaf. It's all right because it dries. And then I'm going to put it right over the top of my stem. And then the next thing you're going to do, I could take a piece of my scrap paper and wipe that glue off so it dries faster. And then just throw it in the garbage. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is I need my pencil. And I'm done with my crayon, so I can push those back. You always want to make sure that you put the lid back on your glue and hear it click. Oh, it didn't click. It's because that glue stick is not that great. Okay, so what I'm going to do is write my name first. Do you see how this has a headline, a belt line, and a foot line, just like the last few times we've been, we wrote our A's and we have been writing our name. So here's what I want you to do. You start at the headline. Remember when you have an uppercase letter and the first letter in your name is always uppercase because you're important. Whenever you're important, you have an uppercase letter. Everybody's important. So we all start our names with uppercase. There's my name, Miss, and then I'm going to leave a finger space in between the first part of my name and my last name. And then do you see how my O, which is the first letter of my last name, goes all the way from the headline down to the foot line? And then this is a lowercase letter, L, and then my S stays below the belt line because it is a lowercase. And then my E, straight line across, up and around. Do you see how I went all the way up to the belt line? Same thing with my lowercase n. Tick, 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 out and down. And now what I'm going to do, there's my name, Miss Olson. Now what I'm going to do is make some A's. So do you remember when we made A's yesterday for our book? We start at the top and go a slanty line all the way down from the headline to the foot line. Slanted, do you see that? And then we pick up our pencil, start back at the same spot and do a slanty line the other way. And then we pick up our pencil and do a straight line across. With our lowercase letter, we start right down below the belt line and we curve back up to the belt line and make a circle around, a small circle, and then we don't stop there. We keep going up to the belt line and then we do a straight line down. And then we leave a finger space. We'll do an uppercase again, slanty line, line across. All right. So again, I want you to do your very best and then circle your best ones and be able to tell somebody why you chose it. The reason why I chose this one is because this other one here doesn't have that straight of a line and this one is much straighter. So that's why I chose that one, okay? And then the next part of making your headband is you're going to take your glue and put some on the bottom of your apple. I probably had enough room to make a couple more A's, but I wanted to finish the video so you didn't have to sit and watch me do a bunch more A's, because I think you're pretty good at your A's right now. You've seen me write them enough times that if with a little bit of practice, you're gonna be able to do it. Okay, and then we put our apple right in the middle. And then what you're going to want to do is pick up your headband and measure around your head, because you want it to be in a circle. Can you see that, how it's in a circle, so that it'll fit your head? And I measured my head when I made this one, and it fits just right. And so you measure it, and then you take the headband and put a little bit of glue on one side. Okay, so that it'll stay shut when you put it on your head. And then you take the other side and you close it up. Just press, press, press. So do you see how that's gonna be? I can put it on my head and it'll be a headband. There it is. A apple. Ah. All right, see you tomorrow.